one-sided fight, entertaining fight, all Mexican affair. It just seemed from my perspective like anytime Valdez would have moments and score with good shots, it didn't even seem like he could affect Navarrete. It feels like he could have hit him in the head with a hammer and it wouldn't have stopped him. He'd score.
Great one-sided fight. Okay, I said it.
Yes.
They tried to make it great. It wasn't. It was a great one-sided fight.
That's right.
Because Valdez had so much heart that he just wouldn't stop trying. It was very similar to Spence and Crawford. That's
Agreed.
how bad a beatdown it was, and that's how one-sided it was. That's how bad it was. Very similar. Nobody else gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Very similar to that, and similar for two reasons. One, because of the domination of Crawford, the domination of Navarrete in this case, and because of the heart of Spence to hang in there, to keep trying, and same thing, the heart of Valdez to hang in there. But same thing, other than it finally being a knockout, same beatdown, same one-sided performance.
To your point with regards to the heart, Valdez probably fighting through a broken orbital bone. His eye was swollen shut. Were you surprised at the lack of compression and end swell they used on the eye? Like in between rounds, it just looked like they'd touch it on there 3 or 4 seconds, move it away. And I was thinking, this thing should get all the attention in between rounds. It's swelling shut. Before it got shut, I thought they could have controlled it a little bit more. But curious about your thoughts about everything, including the eye. But again, just evidence of the heart that he fought with, to fight with that eye swollen shut. And we've seen many people quit after a broken orbital bone or a damaged eye to that degree. Many people have said they've had enough, especially when you're losing every single round.
Do we know that was broke? Did we?
No. We don't know. I'm just speculating, and there's been speculation, so we don't.
Let's be careful.
We don't know that it was broken, but it certainly looked like something that had to be broken. It wasn't just swollen. It was like the whole side of his head was swollen. His eye was shut.
I'll put it in a simple, safe way. Okay. He got hit a lot. And they better give him a long rest no matter what. They better, just like Spence, they better give Spence a long rest, and they better give Valdez a long rest if they care about him. A long rest before he gets not in the ring, but in the gym again and takes any punches at all. I had said, and I actually tweeted it. I had said, look for Navarrete to start fast, because I watched him warm up in the locker room. He had a nice sweat going. They really went out of their way to warm him up. I saw that, the trainers. And Valdez was dry. As I said, I turned the sound off. I guess commentators had said that Navarrete would start slow. I was told that. Again, I didn't hear it myself, but I was told. Navarrete started fast, and he won all but one of the first 7 rounds. Now, we knew going in that he threw a lot of punches, a lot of leather. But what impressed me, Ken, was just how smart and under control he was, where in the past he left himself wide open and exposed during a fight for counters. He'd throw a wide punch. He'd leave himself off balance. Maybe you could punch inside. He'd reach in. Not here. He put a clinic on. Man, I ain't leaving here till I give him his props. Man, because he didn't get his props that night. He got his hand raised. He didn't get his props. Man, he was smart and good. Mixing in lead shots off of his long jab, knowing how to use his reach well, and then countering beautifully when Valdez came in, and timing Valdez with perfectly placed punches and uppercuts at the right time. And not only was his offense buttoned up and extremely efficient, Ken, but maybe this was the most impressive part about him, because he's a Mexican warrior, right? They both are. But the most impressive, but that says our great Mexicans aren't smart? Of course they are. Our great Mexicans can't have defense. Of course they do. But some people, they I don't know. They get caught up in a stereotype. And they think, oh, the Mexicans just walk in. No. No, they're not just walk in. Some of them are. Some of all fighters are just walk in. They don't have to be of Mexican origin. But the great Mexican fighters, yeah, they walked in. But they walked in smart. And they knew when to walk in. Like Chavez. Like the great Salvador Sanchez. So, anyway, not only was his offense terrific and buttoned up, but what I was most impressed was his defense. I mean, it was just great. Valdez could not hit him the way that he thought he would. Valdez was doing good work to the body. I give him credit for that. And he was trying to go there. But I'll tell you, Navarrete, he just started beating the crap out of Valdez. There's no other way to say it. Landing clean, punishing punches all night long. It was a beating. Like I said, just like Crawford gave Spence. And like I said, Valdez, just like Spence, Valdez showed huge heart by continuing to try. First round, I'm going to give you the quick little bit of a breakdown. First round, Navarrete started fast as I thought he would because they warmed him up. They wanted to start fast, and he won the first round. Second round, Valdez, I actually gave it to Valdez because although Navarrete outworked him as he did in every round, in that round, Valdez landed the cleanest shots. But then in the third round, Navarrete not only won, but he basically took over the fight. After that, it was all Navarrete. I heard also that the commentators said that Navarrete's footwork was horrible. You know what? I respectfully disagree tremendously. Ken, I know that shocks you, but I thought it was great. I thought his footwork was great. And you know what? If you ask Valdez, I bet you he'd say it was great too. I bet you he'd say it was great too. I don't think Valdez could find one thing that wasn't great about Navarrete that night. It just doesn't look as pretty. See, that's the thing. It doesn't look pretty. I admit it. But either does Valdez's face at the end of the night. That doesn't look pretty either. Why? Why does it not look pretty? Because of what Navarrete's getting done in a magnificent way. Because he's getting hit from all angles, Valdez. He's being mugged in there. And he was being mugged in there. There was some rounds you could have almost gave 10-8. You almost could have gave 10-8. Thank God that the judges this time actually did their job and they saw it for what it was. The commentators were saying that the judges' scores were way off. You know, when the fight was over, I put the sound on. And that's what I picked up. They said the judges' scores were way off. Really? Really? No, they weren't. The commentators were way off. I just want to finish with this in a very crystal way. I destroy the judges here, as I said earlier, when they deserve to be destroyed. And right now, today, they deserve to be applauded. So I'm applauding them with both hands. And I want to put a finishing touch on what I said before. I'm talking about the sweet science. Any way you cut it. My earlier point that the commentators couldn't see the beauty and the science, the sweet science of what Navarrete was doing in there, because it wasn't done the way they're used to. They're used to it being done, and being done by. It was being done by an aggressive fighter. I don't know about you, but me, I'd rather see someone. I mean, that's just my taste. Perform the sweet science aggressively like Navarrete did. Or Roberto Duran used to do, one of my favorite fighters of all time. When he did it in his prime. He did that in his prime. He made you miss as he went after you. Matter of fact, Mike Tyson did it in his prime too. In the end, it's the same result. You're hitting a guy and he's not hitting you. It's called high-level boxing. It's the sweet science. It's just one is louder than the other. One is loud, the other is quiet. I guess I like loud, if you haven't noticed by now. Loud and exciting. Put me down for that.